The Chicago Bears have a dream scenario for this offseason, and a big part of it just became real. And the guy I'm talking about is Trey Smith. A ton of talk about this dude, right? And the very thought of him joining the Chicago Bears, it just became more real for multiple reasons. And one of those reasons is a relationship in Chicago that hardly anyone knows about. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. The thing is, if we can protect Caleb properly, this pass game should go absolutely nuts with the weapons that we have. And with that, let's have some fun in the comments, all right? Who is your favorite wide receiver to ever wear a Chicago Bears jersey? Anyone can say Brandon Marshall or even DJ Moore, but let's get creative. Let's get a little weird. Tell us why they were so much fun to watch, and I'll see you there. So let's get back to this. Let's get into why this dream of landing Trey Smith is so much closer to reality. For one, it's just a small thing, but stuff like this can sway the balances, and it feels like it's always about a girl, right? Trey Smith's girlfriend, Maya McCole. It's not fully confirmed here, but it's common knowledge he's dating digital journalist and Emmy winner Maya McCole. I believe she's a 7-time Emmy winner. She resides in Chicago. So no doubt that could be just another factor in bringing him to Hallis Hall, right? The guy's won multiple rings with the Chiefs. He is going to want to get a huge payday while the market's hot. A big factor is going to be money, obviously, but every little contributing factor, it really adds up. There's money, of course, a big factor, but also there's more team familiarity beyond just having a girlfriend in Chicago. Before that, let's talk about cash, the haves and the have-nots. It looks like the Chiefs aren't going to tag them. Let them hit the open market. The Chiefs they are a have-not. They only have just $3.2 million before the salary cap increase that was just announced. Not good. And they also have other fish to fry on their O-line. The Chiefs have to acquire a left tackle as well, a guy who can be a dependable starter for multiple years, because one of the wildest stats of the Chiefs dynasty is this. The Chiefs have started a different left tackle in each of their 5 Super Bowl appearances over the last 6 years. And last season, the Chiefs used 4 players at the position. They got to choose where to allocate their assets. And it's just another hole in this roster that they got to fill with almost zero money to do so. They've got to make some hard choices. Nate Taylor of The Athletic, he reported just on Wednesday that the Chiefs, they're unlikely to use the franchise tag on Pro Bowl offensive guard Trey Smith, and that means he's going to be a free agent next month. The only thing that's a barrier to that is reaching a long-term contract extension with KC in the next few weeks. But to quote directly, the Chiefs are not expected to place the franchise tag or the transition tag on Smith, and that's according to league sources that are close to the team. Instead, the Chiefs should try to do their best to keep one of their best players by offering Smith a 4 or 5-year contract. The thing is, the Bears have the ability now to beat any offer KC throws out, and that's because of the scary cap increase that they just got. They can spend away, and they can do so without negative long-term cap ramifications. And the reason they're not going to use the franchise tag on them, it's because centers, guards, tackles, they're all grouped together when discerning the money amount for the cap, not for the cap, but the tag. So obviously, tackles drive the price up to tag players under the system, and teams don't usually use the tag on interior linemen for this reason. And Casey's really up against the cap. So the cap increase, the NFL just increased the salary cap, you've probably heard, but the amount is way more than was expected, and this gives Chicago yet another advantage. The NFL informed teams that the 2025 per team salary cap, it's going to fall in the range of $277 million. Wow, that's a lot of money, to $281 million. And that's way up from last year. The last year it was $255.4 million. So the cap we're looking at increasing by more than $53 million over the last 2 years. So in short, it basically means that teams will have a minimum of $23.1 million more to spend during the 2025 season. So, I mean, the news is applied equally league-wide, but especially good news for the Bears, because now the Bears cap space has jumped up to at least $69 million, with the potential to be as high as $73 million. That's number 6 in the league. But keep in mind, this is before players like Gerald Everett, Ryan Bates, before they make their cuts. So adding up all the potential cuts that I see, the Bears could have as much as 90 million in cap space. Man, this means the Bears have all the cash to really sign whoever they want. The moment Trey Smith comes available, the Bears have to go do what it takes, and there's going to be no negative ramification from doing so. This also opens up the team. I'm going to be talking about this soon. It opens us up to tons more high-profile free agents as well that are available to bring on this team, and that's a really cool thing too. So let's kind of circle back. We talked about the girl. Let's talk about team familiarity. And of course, one advantage is that GM Ryan Poles was part of the staff in KC that drafted him. Obviously, there's a relationship there. In case you don't know, GM Ryan Poles, he was the Chiefs' executive player of personnel when Smith was drafted in 2021. Now we've got running backs coach Eric Bieniemy. He's on the team. Obviously, he's got close connections with him during his time as the Chiefs offensive coordinator, right? But people also forget something as well. We've got a right tackle in Darnell Wright. He is really the only cornerstone of this offensive line. He played 2 seasons with Smith at the University of Tennessee, and they have a really strong relationship as well. So there's a lot of points in our favor. Let's just talk about something else. I mean, that's all well and good, Sean, but how good is this guy actually? And I'm going to go into some like specific stats here. And none of these stats are going to surprise you. We know that Trey Smith has been linked to the Bears for weeks, and also that he is one of the best guards in the whole NFL. And he's going to hit the open market. I really think that's going to happen. And kind of comparing him to a guy like Drew Dahlman, his contract's almost going to be resetting for the guard market. It's going to end up at probably no less than 22 million a year, but his service is worth absolutely every penny. And another pending move that I think needs to be made alongside him, and that's bringing in Drew Dahlman, because we're looking at Coleman Shelton, right? I hate even saying his name. I think he was terrible, but he was our primary starting center last year. We could do a lot better, and we need to do better. Looking at Atlanta's Drew Dahlman, he finished 2024 as PFF's 4th highest graded center, still just 26 years old, approaching his prime. And while he's better in the run game, I'll recognize that the guy is no slouch in pass protection either. So he's going to be a little expensive at center, likely commanding something in the neighborhood of 10 to 11 million a year, but that would be just a drop in Chicago's salary cap bucket at this point. With that increase, makes all the difference in the world. So we're looking at Smith, obviously upgrading this critical position on the line. Looking at Smith as a player, powerful guy in the run game. His run block win rate, say that 10 times fast, 75.1%. And that ranks 6th among guards. But he has a foot speed to mirror any guy on the other side of the line. He has a strength at 6'6" and 321 to just anchor against bull rushers. And he played 655 pass blocking snaps, didn't allow a sack all season. He started 67 of 68 games. He had a rough Super Bowl, but the Chiefs' goal of trying to provide the best protection for Patrick Mahomes, it should include Smith, but I don't think they can get it done and still meet all of their other requirements on their team. To hear Veach from Kansas City, one of his coaches, he's as good as they get. And I agree with you. He's the best guy in the market. The Bears need to pounce on him the second that he's available. And you guys let me know what you think. I think it's really changed the narrative of like, hey, we shouldn't give him up to $25 million because it's going to hamstring us. It's way too much of an overpay. But this increase in cap space league-wide, it makes all the difference. And I think it makes that narrative, that thought against it, absolutely null and void. You guys let me know what you think. Also, let me know who your favorite receiver is of all time. Let's get a little weird with that. And I'll be interacting with you then. Bear down. And man, training camp, first the underwear Olympics, the NFL Combine is right around the corner in, I think, 6 days. So that'll be exciting. We'll talk soon.